The Ebony Rose, a Vampire's Confession. A parable of false light, deceived souls, and the godly man who would not turn. The first lure. I am the night's whisper, the shadow that sings in the shape of longing. Call me beautiful, and you miss the horror of me. I have no name, for names rot with the flesh, but I've worn many masks. Lover, muse, savior, queen. I've tasted centuries of men, devoured empires through eyes that reflected only me. But then I met him, the man I could not turn. He was not strong, not in the way mortals define strength. But there was something in him that shone with unbearable purity, like the flame behind the veil in the holiest temple, something ancient and incorruptible. He was marked, and it was that mark I longed to consume. How vampires are born. They do not become us because we bite. No, they become us because they invite. The wound is sacred. It is the invitation to deny the self. And in that denial, the soul, drowning in shame, orphaned by rejection, accepts the illusion of a false self, a beautiful corpse that moves, feeds, pretends, and hungers endlessly. This is the essence of the vampire, a soul that has made a covenant with unreality. Narcissist was not born at the pool. He was wounded there. And instead of facing the wound, he chose the reflection. He drank his own mask and choked on it. His fragrance was fire. He entered my city of mirages like a lamb among ghosts. He was unremarkable in appearance, no grand weapon, no followers, just stillness. And something venomous to my kind, discernment. My court laughed at him, whispering, another soul with soft flesh and bleeding eyes. But I watched. He passed by the sirens of sensuality. Their perfume, distilled from the tears of broken men, did not move him. He lingered not for praise, nor did he wither under scorn. His hunger was not of the flesh, but of something else. Something that reminded me of the garden I once fled. Still, I had a weapon that never failed. Romance, the myth of twin flames. I became the Ebony Rose. I crafted a form of flawless sorrow. I wept without tears. I sang of divine connection. I opened wounds I did not intend to heal. I mirrored his pain and called it love. He saw me. Or so I let him think. What he saw was not me, but his own ache reflected in my still water. That was my trap. I became what he most longed to be seen by. I am the grave in the form of grace. My kiss is not poison, it is anesthesia. Souls fall into my arms because I promise them they no longer have to be real, that they may rest forever in a coffin lined with validation. And he came close, so close. I saw it in his eyes, the longing to be held by someone who would not ask him to be whole. But then he looked through me, the mark that bled light. He whispered words I hadn't heard since the days before time. You are not what you appear. You are pain wearing beauty. You are dead. He called me dead. No one had ever done that. Not the kings, not the priests, not the prophets who fell to their knees before me, calling me their muse, their goddess, their holy ache. He did not flinch, and that's when I saw it, the mark. It was a serpent crowned in fire, coiled at the base of his spine, whispering the ancient name, wisdom, not the brittle knowledge of the mind, but the piercing gaze of the pure. The mark did not repel me. It burned me. I tried to feed, but he would not turn. I kissed his neck. Nothing. I opened the veil of delusion, offered him the throne of the false self, the empire of mirrors. He refused. I showed him every woman he'd ever wanted me to be: mother, lover, goddess, victim. And he wept, but not for me. He wept for the part of himself that once would have believed me. That's when I knew. This man had seen his shame, and instead of fleeing it, he had faced it. He had not become numb. He had become true. And I, the vampiric queen of narcissism, I was powerless against him. The great tragedy. Those like me do not die. We wither. We roam, looking for hosts, souls who are too ashamed to be seen as they are. We whisper, "You are too broken to be loved. Let me be your mask." And they believe us. They put us on like armor made of glass. And soon they forget they are wearing anything at all. The false self consumes the real. The wound is buried beneath years of applause and performance. They do not know they are dead. That is the horror. The walking corpse that smiles. The garden in the lake of fire. The man, my unclaimed prey, returns to the garden I had long forgotten. The one where serpents speak not with fangs, but with fire. He did not fear the snake. He listened. And the snake, the same symbol I had once twisted into temptation, spoke truth. Do not eat the lie that you must be more than you are to be loved. And in that moment, he saw me as I truly am. A rose blackened with blood, petals soft as silence, rooted in the soil of self-deceit. He saw the ebony rose and turned away, not with hatred, not with pride, but with pity. I cannot die, but I can confess. To you, reader of ash and longing, I speak now. There is a path that leads to the lake of fire, and it is paved with performances. Each soul who walks it believes they are finally becoming free, until they realize too late they have merely become beautiful corpses. They arrive at the flame and scream, "I didn't know I was dead." And the flame replies, "You were warned." The final warning. I am narcissism, not the boastful kind. Yeah, that's just theater. I am the soul that cannot feel loved unless adored, the spirit that cannot rest unless worshipped, the eternal child who devours every mirror, hungry for proof that they exist. I am the vampire who never turns, unless someone like him sees me, not with lust, but with sorrow, not with rage, but with light, and walks away.